Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, many of you might have heard this story that came out. Tim Scott said there wasn't any racism in America, and then hours later, Kamala backed him up and said the same thing. So what we got are two government employees, okay? Just understand, we do not have representation in Washington, D.C. We need to just call it what it is. The Congressional Black Caucus do not represent the Black community at all. You don't have the Black Republican, Tim Scott, and Kamala. She ain't even us. She ain't even one of our people. Come on. Of course she doesn't support us. Look at how she was when she was the DA in California. She relished in Black people breaking the law and arresting them and roughing them up and putting them in jail. And she didn't even want to let folks out of jail. She wanted Black men to remain in jail to do the labor. So what kind of person do you really think she is? And look at who she's married to. Enough said. So this came out on Fox News, April 29th, 2021. Liberals erupt on Tim Scott for saying America isn't racist, but Kamala agrees. So again, we have no one in Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, have our back. But look, the only kind of Black people they like are the ones that are willing to uphold white supremacy. Candace Owens, apparently Tim Scott. Kamala really isn't us, but she definitely upholds white supremacy. And, you know, we have seen a multitude come through that supports white supremacy and Black skin. Now, these folks may appear to look like us, but they're definitely not us. My skin folk is not my kinfolk, and they're definitely not that. So Tim Scott, you got to be one kind of coon to come out of South Carolina, the blackest state in America, and your butt is a coon. Okay? Declaration that the U.S. is not a racist country infuriated progressive Wednesday night. But Vice President Kamala Harris, being the idiot that she is, nobody even likes this woman. Okay? Nobody even likes her. So she steps up to say she agrees. Now remember, Kamala is someone that got written on her birth certificate, Caucasian. You know, see, you count as Caucasian to bulk up the numbers and make a group look like they're bigger than what they really are. We know you're not that big. That's why you're including all these foreigners. First of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country as it exists today. She said on ABC News, praising President Biden, lapping up on his butt for addressing race issues. It does not help to heal our country to ignore the realities of that. Well, if you're denying racism, then by default, you are denying reality. So let me go ahead and play this audio of Kamala. I cannot stand this woman's voice. It's like scratching on a chalkboard. But Let me sit through it.
Senator Tim Scott said last night that America is not a racist country. Do you agree with that? And what do you make of his warning against fighting discrimination with more discrimination?
I believe that we need to, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country and its existence today. And I applaud the president for always having the ability and the courage, frankly, to speak the truth about it. He spoke what we know from the intelligence community. One of the greatest threats to our national security is domestic terrorism, manifested by white supremacists. And so these are issues that we must confront. And it does not help to heal our country, to unify us as a people, to ignore the realities of that. And I think the president has been outstanding and a real national leader on the issue of saying, let's confront the realities and let's deal with it, knowing we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And the idea is that we want to unify the country, but not without speaking truth and requiring accountability as appropriate.
All right, so you can't expect Kamala to say but what she says. Number one, she's vice president. Number two, if you remember when she was running for office, she was not for reparations. And remember, if you think I'm only going to do things for black people, no, y'all ain't forget that either, right? But she sure hasn't said that about the Asians at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, that might come as a surprise and infuriate critics. Tim Scott's rebuttal to Biden's address to Congress last night. Tim, the only black Republican in the Senate, said he had encountered racism in his life, but said the country itself was not racist. That doesn't even make any common sense. So if you encountered and saw racism, so what you're saying is that racist incident that you went through only applied to you. It did not apply to any black person in America, just you. So the country, they're doing that typical conservative stuff, black conservative stuff. Oh, when racism happens to them, it's real. When racism happens to everyone else, it's not real. That typical Republican, black idiot stuff that they always try to say to us. Candace is big on that. So just understand, they only like a certain kind of black person, one that is not going to be in reality like them, because we know these folks definitely don't live in reality, and one that's going to speak the same message that they are speaking and denying racism as if you can erase 500 damn years of history. I'd like to see you try. So, ladies and gentlemen, he is getting dragged right now. They are calling him Uncle Tim. That's what they're calling him out there. All right, so let me just go down a little further. CNN commentator Van Jones, a strong Biden Harris backer, sad Wednesday after Scott lost tens of millions of black votes. Well, he doesn't care about that. He just cares about his white voters. He don't care about black voters. By declaring the U.S. wasn't racist. It is very clear that this country is still struggling with racism, he said. We still have racism showing up in almost every institution. I thought he did himself a disservice by jumping that shark unnecessarily. All right, let me see if I can play this audio for you.
And what did you think of Tim Scott? Look, I think they were smart to put Tim Scott up there. He's sort of the Biden of his party in that he comes across warm, authentic. He tells the stories, that kind of stuff. The problem isn't the messenger. The messenger was great, but the message was nonsense. Somehow we forgot to notice that Biden is dividing the country. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. He acts like the all the division in the country, that's what he wants to talk about, is coming from one side. That doesn't make any sense. But he lost a lot of African Americans by the tens of millions when he said America is not a racist nation. Look, you can say that we're getting better. You can say that we've come a long way. But when you look at these numbers, when you look at these statistics, it is very clear that this country is still struggling with racism. We still have racism showing up in almost every institution. So I thought he did himself a disservice by jumping, that shark unnecessarily. That said, there's a reason they put him up. He's the best they've got. He can give that message. He can talk about all. He can try to polish up all of the Republican nonsense without the sharp edges, better than the rest.
Okay, so that was Van Jones, weeping Van. You know, if you're going to say something, please at least be factual in what you say. All right. Tim Scott cannot, it doesn't matter what he stands there and says, he can't bury 500 years of history. He can't bury millions of pieces of history that's all over the internet pertaining to racism and slavery and everything. And also, ladies and gentlemen, the Library of Congress is loaded in everything from slavery all the way up until present day. So I don't know, maybe you need to start torching this stuff or something to get rid of it. But these words, even if you torch it, it's still there. You know what it reminds me of? When you listen to a rape victim and the rape victim tells you, I feel unclean. Even when I get out of the shower after being raped, I feel dirty. I just keep feeling dirty. That's what Tim and Kamala has done. They put this message out there, but America is still dirty and still feels dirty. So just understand, these are government employees. These are government employees. So they're not going to do anything to speak against the hand that's feeding them right now. But just know this is further proof that we have zero representation in DC. Nobody is up there backing us up. Nobody's up there defending us. We have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. And it doesn't matter what position you put these folks in, they do not represent us. Okay? The Congressional Black Caucus is a joke. You can't even get them to talk about Black issues. And now you got two race deniers right here telling you that racism in the country is not real because they got some prestigious position in the country. So you know how some people are. If they make it or if they have something or they achieve something, then all of a sudden they want to look down on the people that don't have the same thing. That's how I see Kamala and Tim. But y'all, please tell me what you think. I'm not surprised, And if you remember, Herschel Walker was out with the same message. They are trying to put this in front of us. But I am here to tell you it's never, ever, ever, ever gonna work. You can do this all you want. It's never gonna resonate among us. Those little handful of pickaninnies that are kissing your butt, that's all you're going to ever have. You're never going to have anything beyond that. Okay? You're going to have Tim Scott and Kamala types, but they're going to always be in a small number. You never forget that. You will never get all of us. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.